Hello, thanks very much for joining me again today. This week's river pattern's a small emerger. So without further ado, let's get into it. So in the vise is a Hanak H333 barbless hook. It's a fine wire hook and it's in black nickel. The fine wire will serve us well for this small emerger pattern, nice and light. The label's gone from this, but it's basically ultimate tyne silk from Fish On, and as you can see it's a green colour. Now, as with all the silks, the ultimate tyne silk, the Vivas, I'm just going to add the tiniest spot of super glue to get some purchase on my thread. It does tend to slide all over the hook shank if you don't do this. So I'm going to come down about halfway and then come back up and stop about 1/8 of an inch from the eye of the hook. Then I can remove my rat's tail. Now the CDC I'm using today is from Troutline, and this one is the Ultimate Select, and I'll just show you that out the packet here. So it's a lovely tan colour, and the reason to be using this is if your time's precious and you want to just get straight on with tying and not sorting through CDC feathers, this stuff's great. I'm a wee bit tight, so I tend to not mind sitting sorting through some of my friends' shooting stuff and just picking out feathers. But while I've got it here, I thought I would use it today. I've got 3 plumes and I've married up the tips, so I'm just going to transfer them over. Just slick them back so you're getting the bulk. Now, depending on the size of the fly you're tying, depends on how much you want to come out the front. Now, I always like to tie them, if I'm guesstimating, slightly longer, because you can always cut them. If you're not happy with the length of this, you can cut it with scissors. Some people don't like that and like it au natural. It doesn't bother me. If I've got to cut them because I've made an error at the vise, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. So what I've got now is about 1/8 of an inch thread wraps down here, and I'm going to come in and cut my CDC at quite a long angle, not that long though, and I've not made the best job of that, but hopefully I've saved it. So remove any excess. Then as you're coming down, nice tight wraps you want now, and what you want to do is try and achieve a nice tapered body. And if you've cut the CDC right, and I've not done it particularly well, as I said, it just makes the job really easy. And I've just got a little bit of excess there because I've not done it right, but I'm going to try and tidy it up. Not too bad, so looks okay, fairly happy with that. Now what I'm going to use for the body is some goose biots, and what you see before you hear is stuff I picked up at a fair. It was going for a song because I think whoever it was trying to dye it black and it failed miserably. As you can see, it's pretty mottled and it doesn't look much good for anything. But the reason I'm tying this fly is on Facebook, a tyer called Craig McDonald posted a pattern recently, and I just really liked the look of it, and I thought, oh, that stuff I bought that I thought was rubbish might be just ideal for this little pattern. So I tied up 2 or 3 and I was really pleased with the effect, so I've thought to share it with you now. But don't be worrying about the goose biot. You can use green, you could use red, brown, you know, the choice is up to you. You don't need to be particularly using this. It's just that I had this and I've not found much else use for it, so it's just been ideal really for this little pattern. So I've brought my thread, I've caught my tip in, I brought my thread all the way back up to the head. Now before I try and wrap the body, I'm going to just add the tiniest touch of super glue to the shank, and this just helps protect the goose bite. So I'm going to come in with my hackle pliers, capture the end, and this is the bit where it can all go wrong because it's only caught on with the very, very tip. So you've got to take a lot of care and work round your bobbin with such a small fly. You've got your bobbin to contend with, you've got the hook point to contend with. There's quite a lot going on, and all that time you have got to take a lot of care not to put too much pressure on your hackle pliers, or it just pops out and you're left crying into your giant pillow that night. So just take your time, bring it up and round nice and slow, and then once you've got it into the thorax area of the fly, you should be able to come around with 1 or 2 wraps of your thread. Don't worry about your hackle pliers. Once you've got control of it with your thread, as long as you keep tension on, you won't have any worries. So it's just fell away there. I didn't pull it or anything, and looking at it, I don't even have to come in with my snips to tidy that up. It's just as if by magic separated at the correct point. Now, I watch a lot of tying videos, Davy McPhail, Andy Saunders, and they're genius tyers. It's great to watch, but they make it look really easy. And I was doing something the other day and I've seen a post. In fact, it was a Davy McPhail fly that I shared, and I thought, God, he makes that look so easy. And for some tyers it is really easy, but even I struggle with like wings and stuff like that, and I'm in awe of these guys that can just, you know, stick a set of up wings on and they make it look simple. I've had to work really hard to just get simple things like this to look easy, if you know what I mean. It's not easy, and I try and not kid you on that it's simple stuff. Anyway, I've digressed enough. So what I'm going to do now is, for the thorax, is I'm going to use some rabbit's foot here, and I've got my little gadget. If you've not seen this before, I did a little review on it. I'll stick it up on the little Insta bar there, and you can have a look at the review. But it's a handy little thing. So for things like I'm about to do now, I would I'll try and do it on the camera. Come in with the amount I want. Just separate. I don't need very much for this actually. Clip it down, then I can come in with my scissors and just take the amount I need. So when I pull that away, I've now secured the little bit of snowshoe into my clip here. So I'm just going to put that down. Great little gadget that, I really like it, very handy. I'm going to come in at the back of my thread with my needle, just flatten it out so that I can create a small dubbing loop. Of course, the other way of doing this is to actually create a dubbing loop, but what that does is it adds extra bulk to this area of the fly, and I don't really want to do that. I want to keep it to a bare minimum. So I've opened up my thread, I've grabbed my little gadget, and I'm going to insert the material. Now you don't need very much. Try and keep tension on the thread. If you let this go slack, it'll just, all your material will just fall out, and your hard work's are wasted, and then you've got to redo it all. So I'm just spinning it up now. Now it's when you're doing a video, this obviously looks like there's loads of material here, but actually it really is very minimal. And what I like about the snowshoe is you get that real buggy, leggy looking fibre on your brush, which is ideal. Great for this pattern. So I'm going to come over now, and I'm going to do size 16 hook, remember. So I'm going to, my CDC starts there, I'm going to come back 1/8 of an inch to create my thorax. So it's 1 turn, 2 turns, and then I'm going to bring my CDC wing back, and I'm going to finish up coming to the front of the hook. Then everything slicked back, and I can capture that in. Then you can either use a whip finish tool or hand finish, as I'm going to do. Little touch of super glue on this occasion, simply because I left my UV resin and torch on the other desk. So a little bit of super glue to finish this one off. Build the head. And then with the super glue in place, you won't have to come in again with any varnish, and then you can simply snap your ultimate tying silk away. And as you can see, you've got a nice looking fly with a very leggy impression in the legs here with the snowshoe. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got something from it. If you enjoyed the video, I release 2 videos a week, a stillwater pattern and a river pattern. If you subscribe to the channel and turn the alarms on, you'll get a notification. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.